I'm gonna speak to you on the death of my son and the expense that goes with that. So I really want you guys to really pay close attention. When my son was murdered, before the coroner was even release his body, I had to go down there and pay them $525 just for the release of his body, or they wouldn't release it. When I went to make his funeral arrangements, which totaled another $13,000 and some change, I just went yesterday and paid the remaining $3,164.78 for his headstone. So it's a very expensive, and fortunately enough, his mother and I had the money. And I want you to understand that we were fortunate that we had careers that paid us well. And for this unfortunate and untimely demise of our son, every parent is not able to do that. So I say this to you, when you're out there and you think about that, you think when you're dead, you just leave. No, it's not that simple. You have to get permits for this, permits for that, and it all have a cost. And death is a business. And believe you me, they treat it as a business. There is no emotion, no attachment to you, no sentiment that they give to you. It's all hard, cold cash. $525 to get his body. Before the mortuary would even touch him, they wanted $4,500 cash or a cashier's check before they made any moves. His vault, as they called them, cost $7,200 some odd dollars. And that's where he used to be laid to rest. His casket was another $1,900. So when you start totaling it up, you see how it just grows and grows and grows. And like I said, they didn't care that his mother and I were suffering. They didn't care that his relatives were suffering. They didn't care anything about that. All they wanted was, the bottom line was money. And I looked at the people and I said, you know, his mother's a basket case. I'm maintaining. And this is how we have to have this. You have to bring a suit, tie, shirt, underwear, all these things. And it was amazing, truly amazing, that I sit here and I describe the things and not get angry about it. But I know that in order for my son to be sent off, I had to do this. Now, all you guys who view this, I don't know if your parents will have the means. More than likely, if you're an inner city person, that they don't. There's places in your communities. There is a fund that is attached to inmate welfare fund here, and that thing on the streets is through the DA's office. It's called Victims of Violent Crime. They will give you up to $5,000 towards funeral costs. Unfortunately, my son and his mother made too much money, so we didn't qualify for that. But it is something that you need to know. There are groups. And believe you me, when you're out there doing the things in your street, you think you're doing it for yourself. But you're not. You're not really doing it for yourself. You're doing it to your families. And I always would tell my son, when you go outside, you're just not Webby, little Webby as they call him. You're Keith Davis. And you represent the Davis family and the Bradley family. Because when you go, that's who's going to be there. And I had that talk with my son. I said, son, let the cycle of life repeat itself. I said, Dad, what do you mean? I said, cycle of life is you burying me. not me bury you. And I want you to understand that. Bury your parents, not let your parents bury you. That's very important for you to understand. And that's why I go back and reflect to you again. Realize your value and realize that your family is not those guys you're getting high with, not those guys you're getting drunk with, not those guys that you're running on the streets with, not that guy that got you hanging out, shooting a gun outside of a window. Those are not your family. That's your substitute family that you embraced. Take the time to speak to your family. Tell them what troubles you. If they're not attentive and they don't want to listen, then reach out to someone. But that last choice you make can determine life or death for you. And I just want to leave you with that. That's what will determine it.